So blessings. Welcome to our healing yoga class. We're holding space for this 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So glad you could join us. My name is Miora or Michelle. So glad you're here. We have a focus today due to our check-in. We do in healing yoga, we try to personalize the class so that it is an integrated process of following your vital force with the beautiful beings here in real time. And I hope that this connects with you if you're watching this via video. Remember, we're all one, our whole body, our whole environment, each of us practicing. So this is great to just find circulation and movement through the whole body. We do have a focus today of grounding down through the lower body and then doing some arm movements integrated from muscle pathways below so that we're not reaching from the shoulder joint, so on. I like to start harmonizing. So I'm seated on the ground, but bring in the props that may help comfort you. Blankets, cushions, pillows. Let's find our pelvis. Feel the sit bones in the area between the tailbone and the pelvis. I am the tailbone tip, the edge of our spine. Ground down a little, nestle in through that area, our root in yoga, pelvic floor. And then lengthen along the S curve of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head and rest wherever you are there. Arms fall neutral along the side. Maybe the hands come to heart in prayer. Connect to your own heart essence. So let's harmonize with ohms. I've talked about ohms, but I've talked enough in this class already, so I won't go into it. Ask me questions on ohms if you have any. If you'd like, any prayer is welcome. Let's try 3 ohms on the next exhale. Uh, Namaste, thank you. And I know that sometimes the ohms in the recording do not get translated well. Hopefully that's not a big deal for you all. When I look through the videos, I've tried to play with the audio settings multiple times on here. I don't know why, but it doesn't always catch the ohm. Hopefully you heard your own ohm and they connected in that way. So let's unravel into all fours here. Find a nice way to transition with your hands underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. Bring awareness to the pelvis first. Inhales, curls the tailbone tip up. Exhales, curls the tailbone tip down. Just the pelvic moving. So we want that pelvic floor moving first because this is our root in yoga. And we want to build from the foundation of our pelvic floor. Once you're comfortable with the pelvic movement, go ahead and bring it up to the ribs. So we inhale, curve in the low back, shoulder blades meet, and the heart sinks down. Exhale, let the shoulder blades fan, rounding through the whole spine, tail to upper back. Inhale, tailbone tilts up, curve in the low back, shoulder blades meet. Exhale, round. We're looking for some movement through the whole spinal column. Go ahead and include the neck now if you'd like. On the inhale, maybe the tailbone tilts up, the shoulder blades meet, and your heart sinks down, and then maybe throat forward. Exhale, whole rounding through the spine, let the head go. So we're going to cultivate leg and pelvic awareness. Right now here, curl the toes if it's okay, engagements in the legs, lift up off the hands. So your weight is really here and here and here. And these are just stabilizing pulls, that we're not dumping weight in the arms. You're light. Beautiful. So let's go forward into a knee plank if it feels okay. It's a wider tabletop. So we have, most of us know plank pose, right? This is with supported knees, but my legs are still engaged, my pelvic floor engaged, and my abdomen. I inhale forward into knee plank, fan the shoulder blades. Exhale, elevate or lower the pelvis towards a child's pose. Inhale, knee plank. You can also just do tabletop if this for any reason has pain sensation. Exhale, shoulder blades meet, heart sinks lower down to your degree. Now the movement can just be gentle rockings back and forth if anything feels too intense the other way I was showing. In healing yoga, please find your own edge each moment and pause right before passing. So last one, sinking the heart downward. Let the arms go out to the sides behind you, head down. If you feel better, you can keep the pelvis up and head down. Take a few breath rhythms here, humbly bowing to our practice together, to your vital force. And then before we come on up, let's even get into those arms. So we're coming from our bowing position, coming towards that tabletop, supported lowering. Use your legs, pelvic floor engagements, and your abdomen to lower yourself down to the earth safely and comfortably. And then what we'll do here is take our right arm out to the side, press ourselves, and my head is weirdly up because I talk throughout this. Make sure your head is really relaxed whenever you can get to there. So I took my right arm out to the side, and then I'm pressing myself from my belly on to my right side body. And my right leg stays lengthening. I kickstand my left for support. Maybe the left arm spirals back towards it. Woo, it's intense. So any degree of this opening, you may just put the right arm out and just gently press onto the right side. Letting the head go, softening wherever you may. We'll come back to those audible exhales anytime they're welcome. Just letting the nervous system rest and digest. And then mindfully make your way back to breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Begin to roll back to center. All right, here's a little hug. I'm positioning for the video. So we can come to Sphinx briefly with the elbows underneath the shoulders, little columns made with the arms out in front of us. And then you'll extend the left arm, straightening. Right arm, the same arm we just teed out underneath us for a one-armed hug. Release the head. So the arm literally went the opposite direction. And now we're making space in the right shoulder, the right outer arm. Release the head. Notice the breath rhythms, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. If it feels good, you can even try a double armed hug for another breath cycle or two before coming out. Positive affirmations. Thank you, body. I am grateful. So we're going to unwind out of this. Come back to your Sphinx pose. Crisscross the legs. Crisscross applesauce. Hopefully you can see my feet back there. The knees bent, and I'm just releasing. Let the head go. Let the jaw go. Let the tongue go. Let's try the other side and hit a bunch of stuff over there that I just did. Anyway, sorry. I like to giggle a lot. So left arm out to a T, and then right arm's going to kickstand up, and we're pressing onto our left side body. Now you're following your edge of sensation always. We really want to cultivate this endurance to remain in an area right before passing the edge. You may feel, I'm moving for talking, but you stay in if it feels good. You may feel an unwinding, a little shaking. This is good, but we don't want it to be any pain. Follow that oceanic sound of the breath. And when you're ready, from the T'd out left arm, you may begin to roll back onto the belly. Maybe extend the arms into Sphinx or even straight arms. It lifts the low belly more if that feels good. And from there, left arms going underneath. For the one-armed hug, maybe you take a breath cycle or two here. Forehead releasing down. Softening the eyes, softening the mouth, the jaw, the tongue. Maybe you do a double-armed hug, right arm gathering to meet towards the left. Thank you, body. I am grateful. I am whole. I am one with my higher self, or however you feel or connect to the light. Begin to unwind. Whew. Very nice. Let's do an interlaced cobra pose. So I'm coming to the side to show. We'll take our arms back behind us near our low back, interlace the fingertips, direct the energy down towards your feet. Inhale, press down through your lower body, feet and legs and pelvis, and inhale to lift the chest. Keep your head in line with the heart. Woo. Take another breath cycle. Inhale to lift your chest up, arms fold down, and then release. Cactus the arms here, forehead down. Curl the toes, hands come in alongside of you. Begin to rise on up. Watch this transition. Use the legs and your core to come on up through a tabletop. And if it's in your practice and you want to go through a downward facing dog, you're welcome to, or make your way up to standing. So I'll show from here, you can unravel the pelvis up high and then walk hands to feet, or you can just come through a tabletop. I like to work on squats to rise up. However you find a nice way to get on up to standing. Woo! I'm gonna take a sip of water here. So we'll start with just some sways, feet a little wider than the hips. Let's let our coat hanger arms come on out, sliding them side to side. Hopefully the arms are feeling pretty good after what we just did. Intention now of dropping down low, and we're going to hopefully use the arms from engagements down below us. So feet begin to come in line with the hips. Lift up through your inner arch of your foot. Lift through the line in the kneecap, front leg, back leg, and gluteals engage. And you'll feel these kind of tree trunk stumps below. This earth element lock in. Thumbs spiral back. This is our mountain pose. Feel your strength. Inhale, breathe up the front body from the feet to the face. Exhale from the crown down the spine to your feet. This circle of breath surrounding you and including yourself in the environment. Beautiful. Any of your own intentions that you may have for practice, your goals for your week or day, say them out loud, feel them, or it can just be to be here now. Palms up, circle up the arms with intentions to the light and pull these intentions down through the center column. 2 more, mountain pose. Inhale, take up space. Reach up to the light, motivation, down through center. And 1 more here. Inhale, reach up. Visualize the sun in this golden ray channeling down through the crown, through your midline. Awesome. Let's do our arm stances statically. So palms up, tee up the arms. Come from engagements in the lower body. Let's talk about the true core in yoga. They're the bandhas in Sanskrit. The first one is the pelvic floor. Direct that area between the thighs up towards your heart. Let's bring our arms to a V. The shoulder blades stay depressed down towards the glutes and the back of the head lengthened. Bring your awareness from the pelvic floor rising to the navel towards your spine and then rising towards the heart. Bring your arms to an H alongside the ears. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Arms to cactus, elbows in line with shoulders, and you can feel the shoulder blades meet and depress for space in the neck. Strong leg support. Press air current down. Here's our M pose. Inhale and exhale. And then reset to a mountain pose. You can coat hanger it out or just remain still. It's important to me to feel the always constant oscillation and movement. And if you want to sway with it to keep that movement in mind, great. Or you can be still and feel the movement within the heart, within the breath. Just an intention of being aware of that constant fluidity that is always around us and always here to access. So let's do a few more breaths before we get into some more movement. Bhastrika breaths, ground down through the lower body engagements, cactus up the arms. We can do a heart lift first. We press the hips forward, bring the shoulder blades together, and then lift them up. And that's lifting our chest to the sun. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, let it go. Another set of that cactus arms, this time with the bellows breath, like we mentioned, Bhastrika. So we may forcefully inhale one way, exhale the other way, sounding like or you don't have to do it forcefully. Remember, you're following your inner guide. And come back to center. Let the shoulder blades depress. Try the opposite direction. Maybe you inhale right, exhale left. And take a break. Woo! That was a lot. Let the arms hang heavy, like yokes on the side of the rib cage. Engage from the feet up through the pelvis. Let's finish the bandhas here. Find a mountain. Our true core, pelvic floor, let's call it the elevator, rising. The navel towards the spine and then rising. This is the drawstring, like on a pair of scrubs around the waist, connecting your center core. And then the throat, chin down towards your heart to lengthen that through the neck. And you can also see this as pelvic bowl with the ribs over it, with the head over the ribs, nicely stacked in alignment. So we may even call it elevator, drawstring, and then zipping them up towards the heart. That's one visual path to feel the engagements of the core. Inhale with your elevator drawstrings, reach up, circle sweep the arms up, let the hands meet, flip the wrists, and pour over crescent moon to the right. Feel yourself lengthening through your side body engagements between the left hip and left ribs. Inhale, center, lengthen. Exhale, pour over to the left. Feel yourself lengthen through the right. Inhale, center. Switch the grip of the wrists. Pour over left. Inhale, center. Pour over right. Or pour over the opposite way. Inhale, center, cactus the arms. Sweep them down the back body like you're gliding down the back to a mountain. Beautiful. Let's do a little flow before we do more of our movements that we talked about. So we'll inhale, feel the fluidity, circle, sweep the arms up, lift your heart by lifting the shoulder blades up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way down. Feel your low belly on the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to for that. Hands grab elbows, back of the head, or even interlace up high to the sky. Inhale through the nose. Exhale from the nose. Inhale, hands meet towards the legs, lengthen through the spine, hugging your front body to meet your back body, and you're lengthening from the tailbone out through the head. Exhale, let it go. Strong legs, bend them, almost like you're coming up through a chair. All the way to rise up. Lift your heart by pressing your hips forward and your shoulder blades together and up. Exhale, center. So let's do that just a few times. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. Lift up your heart to the sun. Exhale, dive down, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half lift from your tail tip to your crown. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reverse swan dive, circle sweep as you use the legs and pelvic floor all the way up. Lift your heart to the sun. Visualize the sun down to your inner sun at the navel. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach up, stretch and lift your heart. Exhale, fold down through center line. Find your inner smile. Inhalation, half lift, lengthening from your tail to your head. Exhalation, letting it go. Inhale, come up like through a chair, circle sweep all the way up, gather, collect the light up high with your heart as you guide it down through neutral center. Woohoo, feeling good. So let's warm up a little bit more before we do that intention of arm movement coming from the legs. Let's sit in our chair. So I just said we were doing that as we were rising. We're going to find a still chair. Elevator, lower the pelvis. Weight drops towards the heels. You may even lift the toes. Feel the pelvic floor rising, elevator. Feel the drawstring and connect them with the zipper. Inhale the arms up into H if it feels okay. Exhale, left hand outer right knee, right hand to hip. Twist from pelvic floor to heart, right. Keeping head in line with the heart. Inhale back to center, go into the other side or come back and meet us. Right arm outer left knee, left hand to hip, pelvic floor to heart left. Weight is in the heels and back through center. Inhale, strong legs, come all the way up to standing. Whoo. Lift your heart, feel the sun within, down through center. Let's come to the top of our space here, and we'll take our right leg back, warrior one. So the front left knee is over the ankle, root down through the back right ridge of your foot, outer ridge. Pull your left knee towards the pinky, helping to engage the outer muscles along the leg. Hands to pelvis, feel the leg engagements from the feet, and then feel the pelvic floor rising, elevator rising. Bring your hands to your heart, feel the drawstring and you're zipping it towards the heart. Feel your H arms up high. And then here we are, bringing the arms down towards our hips and then lifting them up. Now see if you can use this movement from the feet and the pelvic floor so that you're so engaged down below that the movement up here is really coming from those roots, not from the shoulder joint. The arm is moving, but you're feeling the strength from below. And then go ahead and interlace the hands back behind us. Send the arms down, lift the heart up. Keep your chin towards the heart unless it feels good to open the throat. One last move here. Keep the legs and roots stable, bending from the waist. Maybe you begin to hinge forward on the inside of your left leg. Let the arms go. Feel the roots. We want to come from the legs and the pelvis. Stack your ribs over your pelvis, head over pelvis. Strong legs here. You may lift the back heel, bend the knees, and have the legs meet. Whew. It's a lot. So sway it out. At least I'm feeling it. Maybe you're not. We're all different, remember. But no judgments to ourselves. We're all such beautiful reflections of the elements. So it makes it so much fun. That's what makes life so thrilling and diverse. Let's try the other side. So we'll take the left leg back, come to the top of your space. Whew. Root down through the feet. Feel the engagements as you lift up through the knees to meet at the pelvis. Hands to pelvis, and you're aware of the elevator rising from the pelvic floor. And then hands to heart, drawing the drawstring to meet at the heart. Maybe arms extend out through the head in H. And then here's the movement coming from our lower body engagements. Elbows down towards the hips, and then maybe extend H. Down towards the hips. Use the bandhas and the strong legs. All right, send those hands interlaced back behind you. Switch the grip, so you're working both sides of the brain. Send them down, lift your heart. Woo! Stay balanced in the legs. Your chin can stay towards the heart unless it feels good for your neck to open the front throat. And now if you're on the move from the waist, keep the legs where they are. Begin to extend the spine and head forward. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, begin to come back upright. Let the arms go. Try not to use the arms here. We're focusing on legs, pelvic floor, and bandhas. Soft knees, have them meet. And then you can shake it out. You can sway it out. So we're getting to the hotter summer seasons, right? Depending on where you are. But if you're getting to the summer seasons, we will just introduce a cooling breath. So we did the Bhastrika bellows breath. I'm just doing this movement for video, so you can stay where you are. But the bellows breath is really fiery, right? It's gonna bring more heat, potentially. The cooling breaths, calm and relax. So we open our mouth, breathe through our teeth. I know it's pretty funny, but don't worry, you can just see me. Or you can make a loop with your tongue. If you can't do that due to genetics, you just press into the tongue, into the lower lip, just making a little divot. Or breathe in and out through the loop in the mouth. Cooling breath. Great to have that in our toolkit if it gets a little hot out there. All right, so let's do another standing movement before we come on down. One more integration of the arms from our legs, how about? So come to the top of your space and let's do a lunge. We haven't worked on, actually, sorry, let's do warrior two. So right leg back. Now the legs may be a little wider. Before in our warrior one, our hips were forward. Now I'm going to show the next pose with them out to the side. Your front knee is still over the ankle, pulling the knee towards the outer toe to engage. Root down through the back ridge of your back foot. Hands to pelvis, notice leg engagements. Notice the pelvic floor elevator rising. Hands to heart. Notice the navel drawstring rising to the heart. And then radiate the heart essence out to a T. Palms up, feel shoulder blades depressed. Palms down, remain in concentration over the front fingertips. Now what we're going to do, some kind of like Tai Chi movements that came to me. So we have our firm base here. Take the legs narrower. If I'm just going to show a little closer if you're feeling ungrounded. Only go wider if you're feeling stable. We want stability first. And then what we can do is have the palms meet one another, say left palm up, right palm down, and come to these sweeps, playing with the energy around. Now this movement is not coming per se from the shoulder joint where we're kind of stretching it out reached, but coming from the earthy roots below. See if you can keep grounded as you play with these kind of sweeping like energetic Tai Chi movements of the arm. Maybe you're feeling sensation between the fingertips and the palms, hot, cold, wet, dry, any kind of impulses. Hands back to the heart. Maybe you really feel the energy now radiating towards the middle finger. And then come back to your T. One last breath, concentrating over front fingertips of the left. Come from your roots. Let the arms hang. We're going to curve the back toe in by lifting the heel up. And here's the hop forward, strong legs. We're checking if we're really in our legs, right? To bring them together. Because that's not always easy if we're not stable. So it's good to check in with those. Let's try the other side. Left leg flying back, warrior two. Find a stance that you can endure. Hands to pelvis, feel the pelvic floor rising. Hands to heart, feel the navel drawstring rising towards the heart. Palms up, tee out the arms to radiate the heart space, and then palms down, focus, Ujjayi, slow breaths, gazing over the right fingertips. Ujjayi breaths, inhaling through the nose, expanding ribs. And relaxing, releasing ribs and diaphragm. Here's those movements again, if you'd like to try, maybe right palm up. Here we are playing with the energy currents. And this is coming from the feet and then the core. So we're integrating the muscle pathways below our shoulders and arms in hopes that when we do our move, maybe you try higher ones just to see if you're doing it, but just in hopes that as we move throughout our day, we come from the heart and from the lower roots, not from the hands. Awesome. So once you've done this, have the hands meet back at center, feel that sensation, the power through the palms. One more breath cycle, warrior two. Concentrate over right fingers. Flip the back heel forward. So now the hips may want to come squared because I find it easier to move from that. Bend those knees for stability and fluidity. Meet forward with a little hop. Awesome. Woo! That was a high five. Okay. So we're going to lower down through, sorry, I try not to giggle at myself, but it's happening. Okay, so we're going to lower down through a squat or any pose you're working with. I like to take the feet as wide as you may feel good doing. Come down through prayer, and then however you'd like to mindfully make your way down to the earth. Feet to the earth, bend the knees, arms alongside of you. Hug your front body to your back body, lower down. The moment I've been waiting for, my favorite pose. The knees come in and the feet go wide and you feel the low back plant. This is the ultimate grounding of the spine for me. I'm able to connect from my pelvic floor, which is our base in yoga, all the way to the crown back of my head and feel the earthy roots, the support, the stability. Stay here, breathing into the hands on the stomach and the chest, or you can take the arms wide and make wide windshield wipers with the legs. See if the stillness feels better or if the movement is more of your flow. Time the rhythm with your breath rhythm. We did a lot of leg work, so we're going to do a little leg reverse series. If you have a wall, feel free to take legs up a wall. We've gone over that before. I won't waste too much time, but just know that's available to you to end class as well that way. So you can do that for the remainder. Or if you don't have a wall space free or just don't want to do that right now, just go ahead and lift the knees up towards the heart and then extend the feet up over the hips. Now you'll want to make sure that your core, the bandhas we talked about, are engaged because otherwise your low back will start feeling things. So bring that pelvic floor rising to the heart, navel to spine towards heart, and the chin towards your heart, all meeting heart. Okay, arms out or on the body, point the toes, inhale, flex the toes, exhale. So we're really focusing on the ankle for these next two movements. Well, three, including this one. So the second one here is pinkies out, eversion, prayer feet, inversion. Eversion, inversion. Inhale out, exhale toes in, just from the ankle. Anytime you're getting low back sensations, please use a wall or just lower the feet down, okay? We don't want to spark that sensation up. And then circles with the ankles. Inhale, toes point away, making a circle. Exhales, toes toward. And reverse the circle. Inhale, toes point the opposite way, and exhale towards. All right, knee pumps. Inhale, feet towards gluteals. Exhales, extend. All right, we're going to do both legs together. I'm going to show from this way here. Inhale, abduction. So the insides of our legs open out. And then exhale, big toes lead, knees curve in from the hip, adduction. So we have these rotations of the legs, right? We can do outward, inward. So inhale, V out, open the insides of the legs. Exhale, close the knees and the feet in. Connect to this in your own way. This is coming from the hip now. We focused ankle, knee, now the hip. So I'm going to move. You stay where you are. Begin to lower the legs down and hug them in. I just want to remind anyone that's feeling any lower body or leg sensations, having challenges grounding, experiencing overthinking, ground down through the legs up the wall is a great pose, which is what we just did with the legs supported by a wall. So just wanted to have that in your toolkit. Begin to prepare for our quiet time. We have a few minutes left. So you can go to Shavasana, which is just lengthening all the limbs. If that sends sensation to the low back, bend the knees like we discussed, or legs up. Connect to the breath, riding the spine from the head down towards the tailbone. Inhale and exhale, feel the wave of sensation through the breath in the body. Feel free to tune me out if you have more time to offer a silent Shavasana practice. If you're ready to move on, and for the purposes of closing out our group class, we will begin to close. So you're welcome to find some deeper, longer breath rhythms, inhaling into the chest and exhaling from the chest. You can come up to seated if you'd like. We'll hold space for prayer. I love to start and end in that circle way with prayer. So we can hold space for silent prayer. If you want, you can have hands connect at heart. Inhale, exhale. Feel anything you are grateful and thankful for and offer your gratitude. And then a gesture with the arms to further offer our humbleness and gratitude. Elbows meet, fifth digits meet, palms up, a gentle bow to the light, to whatever you're grateful for. Thank you so much. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Hope to see you next week.